Hi, my name's Beatriz Barrett, and I'm the writer and director of the short film Disconnected. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil, which is also where this movie was shot. So, for this short film, I had two main inspirations. One happened in 2018 when Hawaii received a message that was actually a mistake. They were meant to do a drill on a nuclear missile, but the person that was in charge of sending the message thought that the drill was reality, and all the inhabitants of Hawaii and the tourists got this text message on their phone saying that North Korea had fired a missile that would make impact in 15 to 20 minutes in Hawaii. And of course, reactions across the board. Some people panicked, some people sought shelter, some people stayed in place and called their loved ones to say goodbye. And that really sparked the idea of what would be better to know or not to know, because a lot of these people didn't get to see the text message until much later. And about 38 minutes after it was sent, the authorities realized the mistake and sent another message saying, everything's okay, that wasn't real. It was supposed to be a drill, and we're really sorry for our mistake. But yeah, I wanted to play with that idea of whether I'd like to know or not when the impending doom is something inescapable. And also kind of make commentary or start a conversation around a movement that I saw a lot of people doing after COVID, which was taking a step back from social media, taking a step back from the news cycle, and really to preserve their mental health, not being super aware of everything that's happening in the world because that can take its toll. And while they're maybe happier without knowing everything that's going on, they're also more isolated just because of the nature of social media in our lives today. A lot of our friends and family connect to us through that. And if you're not on Instagram, if you're not on Facebook, if you're not on Twitter or whatever, you do get a little bit lonelier. So, talking about the production of this movie, this is actually my first endeavor into the audiovisual world. I work with marketing and I've done institutional videos, I've done online courses, but this was the first actual fiction work. So, I enlisted myself for this course in the Museum of Image and Sound that was called Make Your First Short Film. And the whole thing was making a film between 1 and 5 minutes within 2 months, which was writing the script and then shooting it and then editing it while we're having classes on screenwriting, directing, photography, and editing. So the actual script took me about a week to write, and then I shot it in 2 separate days. One with my friend inside of her apartment, and the other one with the other friends I had that are all external shots. We were filming basically in a neighborhood close to where one of my friends live, and I just had some lunch to offer in return. So yeah, my friends are all amateurs, and I think they did a great job acting in this movie. They were very generous with their time, and I'm really grateful for it. While I was writing the script, I did think about all of these constraints. Like I only had one camera that was borrowed. I had a tripod, and I had these 5 people who were willing to act but didn't have any acting experience. So I deliberately did not insert any dialogue just because I didn't have confidence that I would be able to capture the sound with the quality I wanted. And also, I think that acting is a lot harder where you do have dialogue to memorize. I think that filmmaking in Brazil, if you're not going this guerrilla route, could be a lot more challenging just because of funding. I think that a lot of people make the bulk of their money from publicity, maybe, and there are some government incentives for you to produce cultural and works of art. but it's very competitive. It can be hard because I don't think the audience, the public, values what's made in the country as much as what's received from Hollywood or even other countries. I think there's a lot of space for us to improve that and improve the perception that the audience has of Brazilian work. So to me, the main role of cinema is the same role that I think every form of art should have, which is starting a conversation. You end up making work about things that are important to you, thoughts that you can't get out of your head, little obsessions you have. And hopefully that starts a conversation with other people where they start to think about these themes too. They start to want to find themselves and what their opinion on that is. And I think just sparking that conversation is really the role of cinema, and to do that in a visual way that can move people through image and sound and, the screenplay. So I think that maybe I have a little um, or backwards view on technology and its proposed positive outcomes, because I think that right now, where there's this hype for AI, people are using it for everything. And I don't think it should be used for everything. I think that when people are using it to write full on emails, their LinkedIn posts, everything, and I'm using these examples because I'm still in the corporate world. I think there's a very important human muscle we need to flex, and just learning how to write something. And if we don't flex that muscle, if we always delegate it to I think we lose a lot of our capability to communicate. So I think that there are tools that are here to help us, just as, every other technology before them. But when we talk about the use of AI right now, I think that we haven't really found that balance yet. Regarding distribution, I think that if you're an independent filmmaker, you have to think about a hybrid model, just because there not might be a lot of opportunities for you to actually show your work in a cinema screen. I did have the same short film shown in different movie theaters just because of other festivals and opportunities that popped up. And it is a different experience just because it's more immersive. But I think that with any art form, once you make it, you do want to share it with as much people as possible, so that maybe it can find a right audience, so that you can get more feedback and just, have your work seen. I think a big part of making it is to have that conversation with the audience afterwards. So, of course, online screenings are a lot more available to everyone, and I do think that they're part of the distribution process. So I'm not actively working in any projects right now, but I do want to give a shout out to the Museum of Image and Sound, because I've been doing a lot of courses there on screenwriting, on photography, on directing, and it's just a great opportunity to learn more and to be more immersed in the audiovisual universe, and to maybe in the future make more works like these. I think that it's super important to have a place where art and culture becomes more accessible to the public. So yeah, shout out to the Museum of Image and Sound in São Paulo, and any other public initiatives that help the public, the audience, anyone who wants to make art, to learn more about it and to understand how they can be part of it as well.